First of all, say sadhu all together.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Let us pay respect to the Buddha 3 times. Say Namo Tassa 3 times.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Now repeat after me. Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Now 5 precepts. Repeat after me. Panati pata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adinnādāna veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adinnādāna veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Kāmesu miccācārā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Kāmesu miccācārā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musāvādā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musāvādā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Suramēraya majjapamādāṭṭhāna veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Suramēraya majjapamādāṭṭhāna veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Now let us all together recite Itipiso Swakato Supatipanno. Itipiso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vinjacharana Sampanno Sugato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarathi Santa Deva Manusanam Buddho Bhagavati Swakhato Bhagavata Dhammo Sandintiko Akaliko Ehi Passiko Opanaiko Panchantang Veditambo Vinyomiti Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ujjupatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Nyaya Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Samici Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Yatidang Chantarik Purisa Yugani Atta Purisa Punggala Esa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakhineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anuttarang Punyang Ketang Lokasati Sadhu
Sadhu, sadhu.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Dear Dhamma friends, now we are going to discuss certain Dhamma factors in this Dhamma sharing. First of all, I am very thankful to Venerable Chongman and also all the Dhamma brothers and sisters who organized this Dhamma sharing. Today, I selected one of the sutta in the Anguttara Nikaya. So this sutta is very important with regard to the any relationship that we have in the society. So just I mention here as the topic in our Dhamma sharing, 4 factors for a favorable relationship. That means the Dhamma factors mentioned here can be used in any situation. I should say here that these 4 factors you can see here: Dana, Peyavajja, Attacharya, Samanattata. giving, endearing speech, beneficial conduct, and impartiality. These 4 factors mentioned in many suttas in the Pali Canon. And also these factors related to many different contexts. For an example, when the Buddha talked about the kingship, the rulingship, the quality that should have in the ruling, the Buddha mentioned these factors are very important to build up relationship between ruler and the citizens. In that context, we understand giving, endearing speech, beneficial conduct, impartiality, relevant in different way. And also we find in the Singalavada Sutta, there Buddha mentioned these factors to be served as a good friend to another friend. So as a good friend, one should have these qualities to serve his fellow friends. We call Kalyana Mittas. So Kalyana Mittas should have these qualities in them. So these factors in this context also mentioned as very important factors. On the other hand, in this particular sutta, which comes in the Anguttara Nikaya, also mentioned as factors which are very helpful for a relationship in the family circles. That could be between husband and wife or parents and children. So then we understand these 4 factors you can see here as giving, endearing speech, beneficial conduct, impartiality, works in different contexts to build up healthy relationship, favorable relationships. So then we understand it is very important. It is very important to share and discuss. Now I invite all our Dhamma friends just not to listen, but to investigate by yourself the importance or significance of these factors in our relationship. When we think about the relationship between ruler and citizens, we can see these factors. Giving, just like we all know as popular Dhamma, it is not what we call Dhamma, especially to the monks or nuns, or in that sense, but providing necessary things for the citizens in a country. In that sense, providing necessary background for the citizens in order to develop their skills for survival. Then endearing speech with regard to the administration. So it is very interesting. A pleasant speech is necessary, so we can understand how it works. Everybody likes to have pleasant talk, speech. So therefore, these factors work in that context, in that way. And moreover, I would like to today pay our Dhamma friends' attention. These factors work in a family circle. Now we pay our attention to relationship between parents and children. Today we understand many of us do not have enough time to spend with the children. Sometimes parents are very busy in their activities. Children are also very busy in their studies. Meanwhile, they may not be able to meet each other. So we understand this situation. So this situation, in a way, does not provide any healthy development or relationship. Then we have to understand how to use these Dhamma factors in order to minimize the problems coming up. Now, when we take these each factors to discuss how they help in our relationship, so it is very important. The first one is giving. Giving in Pali, we understand Dhamma. Offering, gifting also can be used as equivalent word for the Dhamma. Dhamma or giving, offering, gifting is very important factor. You know, to happen this phenomena we call Dhamma, there should be two sides. There, one side is giver, the other side we can see receiver. So, of course, all of us are very happy to receive something from someone. When we receive something from someone, we are very happy. We can be very happy having something, just like gift. And giver in that context can be happy seeing the happiness of the receiver. So this is the simple process. We understand parents, they dedicate whole life for the sake of their children. While they are providing everything for the sake of their children, actually children should be taught how to practice this giving, how to practice this offering, so on and so forth. These qualities should be taught in their childhood. We often come across that some children, they, at the age of teenage, they understand how to practice giving, offering. Recently, I saw in the newspaper a small girl of 7 years has organized, prepared a sharing corner that is for the needy people. So it is a wonderful and beautiful thing to see such a small girl organizing something for the other people. So then she, as being a small girl, can understand how other people, those who need, things come to her sharing corner and get whatever they need. So this is very necessary especially in today's modern world. We do not have time to think about other people, those who need our help. So therefore, this giving is very important. Giving should be taught in the childhood. Then they will be very sensitive to others. This sensitivity is very important. When they grow up as elderly people, then they will take care of their parents and elderly people. So the Buddha here mentioned in the sutta, these factors should be taught to the children by their parents. If the parents are not able to teach these factors, actually it is mentioned in the sutta, the parents, mother or father, may not receive due respect and honor. While we practicing giving in this way, one may think that why we always encourage to give. That is also a very important point to understand. This giving is to increase our detachment in a way. It is naturally happening within us from our birth to death, that we are always accumulating so many things. This accumulation, thinking this is mine, creates a lot of problem. When we learn to give up or sharing with others or practice generosity, actually we can gradually understand the importance of this practice. One way is that we can decrease our craving. On the other hand, we can understand the other people who receive our giving or gift, enjoy. Seeing their happiness, we also can be happy. Meanwhile, we can decrease our craving. And then also we improve our sensitivity to others. So then we develop our relationship between parents when they teach children. The giving is very important. The second factor is Peya Vajja in Pali. Simply it is translated as endearing speech. Now we understand in Buddhist practice, especially in the precepts, there are 4 unwholesome speeches or words. We call Musavad, telling lies, Visunavad, slandering, Parusavad, harsh speech, Sampapalapa, profitless talk. The Buddha advised us to avoid all these 4 wrong speeches, and also encourage us to speak truth. So endearing speech, in a way, can be a kind words, pleasant words. So everybody likes to hear such pleasant, kind words, while nobody likes to listen harsh speech or words. Therefore, it is very important to have pleasant, endearing speech in order to build up a favorable relationship. Now we are especially talking here relationship between parents and children. Then first, parents should teach children what are the meaningful speeches here. They should appreciate always endearing speech. They should teach a value of truth, speaking the truth, and avoiding harsh speech, then slandering, then lies, and profitless talk. Then children knowing this, they will deal with these, we call that pleasant words. And also, we have to set an example to them. Not only mere teaching to them, but we especially as elderly people or adults or parents should give good example. That means they have to use the pleasant words when they address their children. Then naturally, when they listen, actually we understand the love, compassion, caring actually develop in them. That is how that favorable relationship develop gradually in them. Sometimes we may think that pleasant or endearing speech should be always charming words. It is not necessarily to be a charming words. It is not something about only wordings. Here, Peyavajja means the speech about truth and benefit. That means we should talk something beneficial as well as truthful. Sometimes there are things, they are factual, but they are not beneficial. Then it is said that we have to avoid it. We have to think whether it is a factual, sometimes it is not necessary to share. When it comes to beneficial to others, pleasant and truthful, this can be said that this is an endearing speech. So in our family, we have to create a favorable background in order to speak truthful words and then pleasant words and beneficial. Especially main characteristic is beneficial and truthfulness. So this kind of speech can be said endearing speech. Peyavajja. So endearing speech, Peyavajja, pleasant speech actually develop our relationship. Think about the opposite of this. If the parents do not use pleasant words to their children, then actually we can see they can easily broken up their relationship. So then we understand the importance of endearing speech. as Buddha mentioned here. And then beneficial conduct, the third factor in this. We call that Atta Charya in Pali. Beneficial conduct. That means parents should teach children what should be done, what should not be done. So this is also very important. In the Singalovada Sutta also Buddha mentioned that under the duties of the parents, that they should teach children what should be followed and what should not be followed, what should be done, what should not be done. There it is mentioned as Papa Nivarenti Kalyane Nivesenti. Parents should prevent children in engaging evils, and parents should lead them in good. So here also mentioned as a third factor, beneficial conduct. So parents, we know that role has changed over the centuries. Now we are talking something existed or very much relevant to the time of the Buddha. But I invite all of you to think yourself that these factors are still relevant in our context today. So I suppose, according to my understanding, beneficial conduct is very important in today's modern society. As I mentioned earlier, the time that parents spend with the children are getting lesser and lesser. So naturally it comes to them that they don't have much time to associate children. And children also do not get enough time to talk to them. So therefore, they naturally build up different experiences. So in the olden days, we understand they had, both of them, parents and children, had a lot of time to spend for each others. So therefore, anyway, we must find a time to talk to them. Otherwise, the favorable relationship does not grow in a healthy way. Whenever parents get the time, then they have to talk the current situation with regard to their age. So they must teach them, this is the thing should be done, this is the thing should not be done in this way to avoid. It is called Attacharya. You know, in the precept, we understand that physical activities which Buddha mentioned in the 5 precepts, for example, not to kill or harm, the first precept in the 5 precepts. And then second, stealing, avoiding stealing. So third, avoiding sexual misconduct. For example, these are called we call physical activities that one perform. Then all these physical activities in the 5 precepts mentioned to avoid. So as parents, actually, they have to tell they have to teach the children to avoid these and engage in positive activities such as loving others, helping others, appreciate others' goodness, and protecting themselves, and also protecting others and other things, and respecting each others. So we must find the time to talk these good behaviors. So not only these activities which is related to ethical side, but also good conduct. That means behavior. Behavior is very much emphasizing the ethical side. Meanwhile, whatever necessary for them to develop their success. For an example, when they are engaged in the curriculum activities, so then they can be helped giving good instructions. So in this way, there are many aspects that parent can involve as an advisor, giving some beneficial instructions to them. So that is called beneficial conduct, Attacharya. The fourth one is impartiality, Samanatmata. Samanatmata, impartiality. So this is also another very highly developed quality that one should have, impartiality. Impartiality is not easily can be seen in oneself. That is necessary certain understanding to be impartial. Otherwise, naturally, our tendency is to be partial. Sometimes when we are having a favorable situation, then we develop naturally to have, to develop like, increase our craving. On the other hand, when we find some unfavorable context or situation, we develop dislike. So in this context, parents should talk to them, behave into them in partiality. Sometimes they have to forget their differences. For example, children would like to talk to them just like their own friends, minimizing distance that they have. So we understand in a certain situation, parents have a gap between them. If the parents can come down to them and talk to them just like their friends, that could be very interesting. That could help to develop favorable relationship further and further. Now, I should mention here that once Buddha mentioned, Mata Mittan Sake Gare. A mother would be a friend to her child. So father could be a good friend to her child, to his child. So this relationship between parents and children, this can be developed up to a friendliness. So they can spend some time just like good friends. then children can understand much better their parents. Parents also can understand them better. So then, both sides, they can exchange their experiences. By doing so, actually, they can develop favorable relationship, which is very healthy in the family context, as well as later, it is a very good for a harmonious society. Being impartiality is very high quality factor. That means it is necessary certain understanding to have impartiality. So, in the Buddhist context, we understand it is necessary to have certain way of insight. Otherwise, we associate extremes. So, samana attata, considering others as well equally oneself, just like disregarding all kind of differences that we have. All the differences that we see actually is a creation of our own thinking, or maybe the society. So, when we come to understand the Dhamma, we know how to keep all the differences away and think that we all human beings are same. No, there is no difference. There is no any differences. So in the same manner, when parents come to understand in that way, when children come to understand that way, actually they can develop very good, favorable, pleasant relationship. So now I mentioned here these 4 qualities which mentioned in the Sutta Anguttara Nikaya: Dana, Evajja, Attacharya, Samanattha. Giving, Dana, endearing speech, Evajja. Beneficial conduct, Attacharya. Impartiality, Samanattha. So the Buddha mentioned these 4 qualities in different suttas. As I mentioned earlier, sometimes the children sometimes may expect certain gift. Of course, parents always, they dedicate their time and labor for the sake of children. Apart from this dedication, sometimes in a certain occasion they may expect certain things. Then parent can give them and appreciate them. Some children, they may not expect any kind of material gift from their parents, but they would expect endearing speech. So that is very interesting. They may have different interests in interesting. So some children may not expect endearing speech, but beneficial conduct. They would like to hear that parent advise them. You should do this. You should not do this in this way. So they may expect such instruction coming from their parents. So then parents should give them that kind of instructions for them. Sometimes not all the above mentioned factors that they expect, but something else. That is to associate their parents just like a friends. They do not want any gift. They do not want any kind of endearing speech. They sometimes do not want instruction, but they would like to have their parents just like their friends. So in that case, they should have ability, skills, and condition to provide that situation. That means to be friends. So in this way, these 4 factors are very important in order to build favorable relationship between parents and children. So I today mention, or I today focus only the relationship between parents and children. But actually, as I mentioned earlier, this could be related to administration, just like ruler and a citizen. Ruler here should provide whatever necessary things for the citizens. Then he or she should be a very truthful person. So then should conduct in order to create a favorable background for the citizens. And then sometimes they better to have close relationship, means just like a friends come. So sometimes citizens also would like to talk to their leaders just like friends. So that also can be applied in that sense. In that sense, these 4 factors can be applied to a ruling or governance. So then these factors, when we further analyze, actually we can see in profound teaching of the Buddha. For an example, giving actually addressing our craving. Giving, addressing our craving. When we practice giving, offering, then what happens? We can decrease our craving. Craving, we understand, it is called in Pali, lobha. So this is one of the factors that we are bound to this world. So when we practice giving or offering, this will help us to slow down this samsara. And when we think about endearing speech and beneficial conduct, that can be simply summarized as precepts. So then also, it is also address our another aspect. We can simply say that dvesa. Dvesa means hatred. Finally, the impartiality is something about wisdom, that means addressing the ignorance. So when we analyze in this way, we can understand these factors address our most important issues in our human life, human existence. So therefore, I think these factors that I shared today is very important in our life, especially with regard to our relationships, different relationships. So let us all together determine to understand this and apply in our day-to-day life. So That's all what I wanted to share today in my sharing. And now, we just say last verse ending the session. We again thank Venerable Chongman and all the Dhamma brothers and sisters for organizing this Dhamma sharing. And also we wish all of you good health, happiness, and all the success. Dukkam panta janindukha Bayam panta janimbaya Sokam panta janisoka Untu sambe pipanino Sadhu.